Welcome to today's NBA game with the Western All-Stars versus the Eastern All-Stars. What should be a great match. Teams made up of the best players from both coasts. There's the Western All-Stars lineup, as well as the Eastern All-Stars lineup. I'm Chris, the commentator for today, and here's my sports journalist friend here, Dan. What do you think of this game today?
This game's going to be a good one. I think that the two teams have got a lot of potential. It's been a long time since I've seen a game like this, but I think it'll be a good game.
It should be a great game.
Indeed.
So here we go for the ball drop, and it's the Eastern who get the possession first.
You always got to get a good position on the court, otherwise you're never going to get the game. That's what I wrote about in my journal. You know, in my journal, my magazine, I always write about a good position on the field.
So that's 2 points for both teams straight away, and we weren't even watching or paying attention. But this game's very fast, and both of these teams have got extensive histories. What can you tell me about the Western All-Stars? From what
the
you
Western
know?
All-Stars, they're from the West Coast. A lot of them, specifically in the West, are not necessarily just the West. They can be from the center, but also the West.
Yeah.
And even better than the North, but they're generally from the West.
From your extensive, very highly detailed knowledge of the Western All-Stars, what else can you tell us about this team?
Well, for a long time we've seen how they just like to just mock the other team for being Eastern.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of, just because one's East and one's West, they seem to hate each other.
There's a strong rivalry between these coasts.
Definitely.
And Ming again. Oh, denied there. And now Gadgetman for the Western side doing what he can. What do you think about the East side?
The East side, I'm not a big fan of the East side. It's been a long time since I've seen them play as good as they can. But I do know they wear blue.
They do wear blue, and that's the other Ming.
Ming's a common name in basketball.
It is.
It's been for a long time.
Oh, a foul. What do you make of the fouls in basketball?
Well, see, what foul is when someone touches another person, they generally fall over. The referee ain't too fond of that, and it's often why I read in my articles that I'm against the whole idea of fouls. It's too strict.
And how do you think that could be changed?
Just get rid of the referee.
Well, as long as we don't have any referees, there'll be no one creating any fouls.
Of course, referee means a foul.
Okay. So here we go. I think the Eastern team have got 3 more points.
No, sir, that'd be the Western team got 3 more points.
The Western team came back again and got some more points on top of that. But it seems the Eastern team are running rings around Ming.
Well, rings are an important game of basketball. For one, you've got to get the ball between the ring, in the ring. Otherwise, if you can't get your ball in the ring, there ain't nothing you can do. No, sir, no. It's all about getting a good shot at that ring, getting in there hard and strong. Otherwise, there ain't no point. You gotta get good penetration into the D zone as well. If you can't get it into that zone, you can't get it into the ring. Very hard.
That's key to a game of basketball. It's unique penetration in the D.
Of course, getting right there deep and hard. As long as you get the balls and you get them in that ring, there ain't no problem. I think the West are gonna mop up in this game, but hopefully the East can give them a good challenge.
Yeah, and that's the end of the first quarter. And now we begin with the second quarter with the Western side.
Of course, the Western. They're still on top. They haven't just started again, but they're still on top. But you gotta remember, back when I was writing in my magazine, I used to write a lot about the Western side. I spent a lot of my time on the West Coast. I like to play the game a little bit myself from time to time, but it all came down to back when I was just a little kid, and when I was a kid, I used to play the hoops in the back garden, just throwing the ball and the hoop, and
yeah.
I used to like doing that, and it didn't matter. I was just about to get to do that, and as long as my mama, she'd just come out and give me some lemonade, and my daddy will play together, and he always taught me about the necessity of getting the ball in the ring. Always.
It is a key element of the game of basketball to get the ball into the ring.
In the ring. Always in the. If you miss that ring, it ain't worth it. I spend a lot of my time learning about these players that can't get it in no ring. I ain't saying it's a bad thing.
So, the Western team are in the lead for the time being, and Ming seems to be the strongest player on their side so far.
He definitely got a game. As my daddy used to say, when we were on the backyard, playing some basketball. I believe it's called basketball. Back then it was called hoopty ball. But we tried hard, and I never made it pro myself, but I knew how to write about the pros. I was always good at writing about pro. You gotta understand that when I write in my magazine, and you gotta write all my notes down, I can get, carried away with the game, and I forget to write my notes. I end up writing my shopping list. Yeah, but there's a number of days I must have filled the magazine with just bananas and apples and fruit and milk and forget all about the game,
So the eastern side isn't looking too hot right now.
Nah, they're behind by a few points. Ain't good at the math, but it looks like they're losing. There seems to be a higher number on one side than the other.
Who's your money on for this game?
I'm going to say the west side. The west side seems to have a strong lead, and I think they can hold it. It's getting close, but they can hold it.
I think it's important to maintain focus when playing the game, even if you are behind by 1 point. Not to lose your place in the game and lose focus altogether.
That's totally right. Like losing my place in my journal and having to write my shopping list out again. Number of times that must have happened. Back when my mama, when I was a kid, my mama, she used to make sure I wrote the shopping list correctly and all. And so she could go down to the grocer's and get the stuff, and I could play basketball when I got home from school. And that's how come I became a journalist.
Okay, so your extensive knowledge of writing lists inspired your journalistic sense.
Kind of, yeah. My mama's dedication with her shopping list always does help. It shows your dedication, but nah, it was always waiting to at school just to get home and shoot that ball through that hoop.
So, C. Paul and K. Garnett are the top players of this half. It's now halftime, and we begin the third quarter.
Of course.
On the other side of the court.
Of course, the other side of the court. It's an important side, but you don't realize how different each side is. One side can just have a bit of water on it, and it's kind of slippy, and the other side might be dry as a bone.
Do you think it can affect a team?
Affect a team, it can get slippery out there. You better get some Canadians to come play, because they like to slip around the ice. They're used to it.
I hear when the Canadians play, they sweat dry ice.
I heard that too. It's a long been a myth, but I'm sure I've seen those Canadians get all sweaty and all misty.
So the eastern side still not doing very well.
Oh, but look at those.
The western side seems to be dominating the game so far.
They seem to be pulling away again.
So 29-31 this far. Ming doesn't get the shot.
That guy has some real talent. I'm afraid my next magazine article gonna be about him. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll give me an interview, but maybe I'll try after this game, go down, visit him in the dressing room. Maybe get him some tea, maybe some coffee. Go out for a beer after, maybe.
And it's all even so far between East and West. Down the middle.
Of course. Don't forget though, down the middle is part of the game. Can't go really outside the edges too much. But you can sort of get out there and sort of play the game. But down the middle. That's what the game is. You guys know about going hard up the middle.
So what do you think is what would you say is the best kind of strategy you can bring to this game?
Well, it ain't like playing no soccer and playing no chicken wing game. No, sir. You gotta play more like you're eating a corn on the cob. You gotta nibble at it, gently pick away at the sides, and then you get into the meat of it. Ain't no meat on the cob, mind, but you know what I mean. You gotta get in there, play it hard.
Just pick away with your teeth.
You pick away at the edge. You might have to bite a few guys. You see it out there, especially in my days. But you got in there, alright. You got to get in there.
That sounds like sound advice.
That's what my daddy used to say. Treat basketball like a corn on a cob.
Now it's the eastern side trying to make a push. They're in the lead so far. It seems the tables have turned. Do you still think the western side in with a chance?
Well, I wouldn't not have count them out, but I think they can. They may be pushing behind now and can't seem to. They've lost it maybe, but I think they got a chance.
Okay.
So I ain't a big fan of their coach.
No.
No.
You and their coach have qualms in the past.
Oh yeah. He used to do an article for me. My magazine. I said, you come be a guest on my magazine, we'll talk good, we'll talk money. But he ain't stopped us sending me in some not very nice pictures, to tell you that.
So, as we come up and approach the fourth quarter, the final of the 4 quarters, because there is no 5th quarter.
There should be. There ain't. I've been petitioning for years.
It's all to play for, it seems.
What?
It's all to play for.
It's all to play for, it is, yeah. It's 37-38. But the West is still, I think, the stronger team. They started good.
You still think they're in with a chance?
I think they're still going to win it.
And they stole the chance, and the chance is being used right now for the western side.
All they need to do is get in there, show them a hard game, maybe a bit of call on the cop. It's a silly game. The silly game is one where you don't be practical, you can be unorthodox.
Unorthodox southpaw?
Southpaw is always a good one. Unorthodox southpaw. Get in there with a jab, a haymaker. You always good.
And slam some buckets.
Indeed. Oh yeah.
The West have come back with at least one more point.
I think they can win it. No, I do. You see that move there? That's one that not many guys can pull off. He got some real spin on it.
Doing a spin. Some would call that a risky move, doing a spin maneuver when surrounded like that.
Nah, he showed confidence. Confidence it is. Back when I was, just wee lad playing on the basketball court of my school, if you didn't show confidence, you're never going to get picked. That's why I never got picked. But it was a tough time, school. No, not lads, not nice people. You go in the changing rooms and stuff happens. And
Did you get many opportunities for basketball in school?
I got lots of opportunities for basketball. Yeah, sure.
So it's all 43-44 for Eastern side. I think that was John Wayne getting the hoop there.
Pilgrim.
Ming! Ming with a oop-de-scoop-doop.
I hope this goes hoop. That's how you read in my magazine.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Trying to pick up the lingo.
Of course. You gotta keep up with the kids these days. That's how come I'm still got my magazine.
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming. He's a good player.
Taller than the average Chinaman.
Of course. Is that where he's from? Didn't know that.
The last I heard, that's where he was from.
Alright.
Some say they don't know where he's from.
He seems like a perfectly nice fellow, though. I hope he can let me do a little bit of interview afterwards, and we can get a good talk to him.
From what I've heard, he is a nice fellow.
Well, it looks like these guys, like that Howard there with the ball, he's passing off to James. I think he's got it. Oh, see?
And he puts the ball into the hoop so hard it makes him fall over.
Sometimes you gotta keep your balance. It's an important part of the game.
Oh, and the western side return with 1 point difference and 30 seconds left on the clock.
I told you, I don't think the West have got to pull this back. I think they can do it.
Do you think the West can pull it back?
I do.
Oh, fumble. Pass. Cushion. And he gets the hoop.
This might be over then. Maybe I'm wrong. I know right off I'm wrong, but...
The 3-point shot. Oh, missed.
Oh, where's the worth of going for the 3-point shot when you got behind?
10 seconds left.
Oh, this game is definitely over. It shows I was wrong in this game, but...
Can he shoot? And it's no. And that's all over. The Eastern side wins with a 5-point difference. At the last minute, the East pulled back from what was a majority-dominated game from the West.
I think this shows you waste all your energy in the opening, you got nothing left for the end.
But too much energy for the start, and you don't have enough for when you need to pull out.
That's right, pulling out's an important part of the game. Every game, in fact. You don't stop the game, it just keeps going!
And at the end of that, it seems the East did beat the West. So that's all from me, Chris, and our friend, pundit, journalist friend, Dan.
Thank you for listening, fellas.